Three of these kids belong together. Three of these kids are kind of the same. But one of these kids is doing his own thing. Now it's time to play our game. It's time to play our game.
Team, this is Roggasch. It's a beautiful day here in Anchorage, Alaska. I just wanted to do a video called Monty and Lenny. And this is about my account being canceled, and this is about a summation of what Lenny Posner and I, what he asked me to get, the information, etc. So sit back and enjoy this, or don't. It's your call. This is an update with the situation with Lenny Posner. This is a simple update, but nothing in this whole thing really is simple. As a quick recap, on July 7th, 2014, Lenny Posner, father of Sandy Hook school shooting victim Noah Posner, contacted me via YouTube. He invited me to join a Facebook forum about Sandy Hook called Conspiracy Theorists Anonymous. The forum, which is administered by C.W. Wade, Michael Flagg, and Lenny Posner. The purpose of the forum is to debunk Sandy Hook hoax advocates and to expose so-called stalkers. Also a clearinghouse on information concerning questions Sandy Hook hoax advocates make videos about and write blogs about, etc. Now, right off the bat, I got a feeling of an anti-conspiracy vibe on there. Not just hoax, Sandy Hook hoax advocates, but all conspiracy theorists, which made me wonder why Lenny Posner even asked me to join in the first place. I am a very public, very proud conspiracy theorist. Or, better put, I think by Liam Schiff, a conspiracy realist. Anyway, the forum was a war zone of anti-conspiracy talk. Personal insults, which I took part in. And again, I apologize to Brendan Hunt for doing that. I apologized to him directly on his page, and I'm apologizing again now. And the most bizarre idea of what constituted stalking I read was review Manify, Brendan Hunt, and other YouTube video makers as quote-unquote stalkers. I always stay consistent with this bullshit. Making videos on YouTube is not stalking. Publishing people's information, contacting them at home or at work without their permission, getting YouTube accounts canceled, and consistently emailing and harassing people is stalking. What Manify or anyone else does makes anyone else who makes videos on YouTube is not stalking. And it is not, as C.W. Wade has claimed, the same as, quote, pedophiles or NAMBLA, when referring to these people need to be monitored like pedophile websites and NAMBLA websites. That's horseshit. And by the way, anyone who says that is either a liar or a cop. Now, Lenny, early on in the forum, had a serious burr in his saddle concerning Manify. The reason, looking back, is obvious. Out of all the hoax video makers online, Manify has and is becoming the biggest. He is dangerous not only to Posner, but to the entire official story. His death comedy jam style, his in-your-face, wearing sunglasses, the red hat, he's got a very good shtick. His smart editing and his research make him a star on the YouTube scene. He has over 15,000 subscribers and growing. Also, Manify went after Wolfgang Halbig. Not too crazy, but noticeable. It hurt coming from a hoax advocate with such reach. So in August, Lenny Posner asked me if I could get John Locke's real name and address. I told him I would, and if in fact that was Manify he was talking about. He said, and I quote, "Yes, that asshole." I then, before the words were even dry on the message from Posner, made a crude video called Lenny Posner Asks Me to Get Review Manify's Address. It has since been pulled from YouTube by me. I thought the video made me look a little whiny and a little fake, and I didn't like it, so I yanked it. Then, 2 days later, my entire YouTube account was terminated by YouTube for being flagged as bullying. Yeah, right. Anyway, the idea that Lenny Posner, the father of Sandy Hook shooting victim Noah Posner, asked a stranger. Now remember, I had only known him for under a month at this point. But to ask a stranger to get the address of the most successful Sandy Hook hoax advocate video maker on YouTube, seemed not only wrong, but putting me potentially in a dangerous situation. So I made a video. Since then, Lenny Posner has contacted me, and he's made fun of the whole entire thing. First telling me, quote, "You failed the test, Jason." And by the way, I've said this before, but what fucking test? And who is this man to test me or anybody else? But nevertheless, trying to spin his bad decision with acting like Manify is as public as Alex Jones, as if anyone would compare the two. No, he did that out of desperation because he had been exposed as a stalker. But the thing about Posner that really does bother me, even worse than him being a stalker, was when he brought up in a private message my dead, murdered biological father. I thought that was a little bit tacky and gross, considering I never have said anything about his child being murdered, Sandy Hook's being a hoax, or even Veronique Posner, his ex-wife. I've stayed away completely from his family or anything even alluding to that he didn't lose a child in any of this, in Sandy Hook. And to Montagraph and his so-called evidence that Lenny Posner is not real, he's a joke and it's a joke. Just like all things that Monty does. And to Monty, Wood Enterprises is my stepdad's business. And I have nothing to do with him or his business. But please, if you'd like, contact him, stalker man. He will love you. Oh, and to Monty again, when somebody exposes you and calls you a liar and points out what a fraud you are, you shouldn't run to Daddy YouTube like a little baby and get them flagged for bullying you, little man. You are a real coward. You're a real piece of shit. And you're only threatening to people who are pussies. And all your fucking bluster, you really are toothless. So, in summation, Lenny Posner is real. Lenny Posner is a stalker. Monograph is a liar. Monograph is a pussy troll. And Monograph is toothless. Oh, and Monograph is short. P.S. To anyone who cares, why the fuck is Monograph a hoax advocate defending everywhere he can Lenny Posner? That doesn't seem to make sense. Or maybe it does if Monty is what everybody thinks Monty is. You guys have a great day.